All right. What's good, everybody? Who we have in the building? I don't know who's in the building. Well, actually, it looks like nobody's in the building.
What?
Is that right? I'm not gonna say nothing until somebody comes up. I don't know. Let me see. We got 3 likes. Y'all hit the like button. We got no. Did I come on too early? Let me see my hours. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Why? What do you say, Carla? Carla's in the building. Been calling you. Been calling. Stop calling me. Call me. What up, my kid? What up, y'all? Yeah, what did good do? Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah. Um, Let me check my analytics because maybe I came on too early. I don't know.
I don't think there's ever a time
Now,
it's too
people.
early.
Well, of course, the supporters, everybody. I appreciate everybody that comes on.
I did just share it on the feed, though, on the community post over on the effect.
Okay, good looking out. Auntie Leah in the building. Lee Hop 69. What up? All the members they do pop in and they show love or and the people from the Jaguar Right Effect, the Jaganators, I appreciate that. Um, yeah, I'm gonna get into some things, and it's a conversation I guess that needs to be had. If you ask me, y'all hit the like button, please. As y'all come on in, what up, Kiki Eyes? I'm sitting there trying to look at my analytics like real time, and where is it at? No, it's right here. But whatever. Okay, where we at? What's the day? Monday? Oh yeah, I'm early. Yeah, I'm early. I should have actually. Let me see. Monday. Yeah, I'm super early. I
What's
might have to
today?
come
Monday?
back. No, like between like 3 and 5. I might have to come back.
You know that time,
Yeah.
night and day is the right time, night and day to be with the one you love now.
From the damn oh, Tuesday. At this time on Tuesday, I should go. That's what it was. It's all good though. But I'm here. I'm here, y'all. And y'all here is Jags in the building. We said our names are messed up again. No, I think the ats is just what they do.
Every
Um,
now and then.
no, I'm not gonna go live later. Don't trip, Auntie Lee. It's all good. It's 3:30 for you. Yeah, for me it's like 12:30, 1:30. But they give me the times, like basically they'll give me the times when it's likely many of the viewers are on and they're going to catch this live. So I like to get on and take advantage of the algorithm as much as possible. Yeah, and shout out to the hating ass content creators, A2 Titties, and him sitting over there pocket watching and asking, um, or I will say not estimating because he's guesstimating, right? He's not guesstimating or guessing. He's just hating. He's saying, well, why do Jag go on vertical for blah 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 this and that, and she ain't making this amount of money? Like, man, shut your fat funky ass up. You don't know what's going on this end. Wash your funky ass before you get online and try to do any type of guesta hating. What you gonna say?
Well, no, I'm just, my thing is, why do you care?
Yeah. Focus on your
Okay.
you should focus on like the race horses, they have blinders on both sides because they just gotta focus on what's ahead of them, their finish line. But you got a lot of,
I thought they wanted me all to. And I'm supposed to be like the biggest failure in the world. I mean, this should make them happy then, right?
I mean, well,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, just, and then you do a whole lot of bullying of women. Like, you a punk. That's why I said give me that in-person interview. You were in LA, okay, you ain't pull up. You know, if I touch down anywhere, and if like, I go to a city, another city, and the homies, I'm tapping in, or whoever. If somebody say, hey, tap in with me, even if it's an enemy, I've had that. Where was I at? Uh I forgot where I was at. But some fool said he wanted something with me. I'm like, all right, fool, I'm staying right here at this hotel, the Westin, blah blah blah. You pull up. I'm not gonna come looking for you, because I'm not donut. I'm not like that. But if you pull up, then guarantee I got folks around me that got my back. You know what I'm saying? But regardless to what, man to man, that's why I said in-person interview. I think you don't understand what that means, but it's fine. You come back to LA, pull up. You got my number. You could hit. Hey, I'm gonna be staying over here, and I'm gonna pull up. That's how we gonna do
Is
it.
he important enough that
He's not. It's just a point that needs to be made. I think points need to be made regarding some of these people online. Online is different from real life. And that's why we're gonna get into the Rory stuff as well. I put in this title, Joe Budden, come get your trash. Before I even go there though. Oh, you want to go see Begonia today? Carla, let us know. Let us know what you think. Yes, let us know.
curious to hear what you think?
Yeah. Yeah, Begonia. Yeah. If any did anybody else see Begonia, let me know. Because I might do a separate live. Uh, I might just do the live because I don't think Jag is too invested in the Begonia
What are you
situation.
talking about? It's not that I'm not invested. I see it from another level. I see it from another plane. And if I tell the truth about it, I'm gonna get labeled.
No, yeah, I get you. I understand. I understand.
But you know what? How about we live dangerously and just say to hell with it?
No, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it members only. That's what I'm saying. When I do it, if anyone has seen it, let me know, and we could have a straight up discussion about it. Straight up.
Oh,
No, no, no. You're involved. First off,
this is crazy that they're doing another version of it. Like,
well, that's what I wanted to talk about because you were just talking about 50 Cent on your channel, and I'm gonna talk about 50 real brief.
oh,
So I was reading this happened. This was a year ago when they were talking about another spinoff
yeah,
for Power. For those who don't know, 50 Cent has, well, really, it's what's her name? Kim. I forget her name. The lady who really came up with the whole thing. But 50 Cent
you mean
has.
the lady who got the script that turned into something else? Because yeah, her.
Okay, yeah. Power. Have any of y'all seen Power? With Ghosts. Now I remember now the first one, and I don't know forgot how long ago that Power stuff. That had to have been like 10 years ago. But Omari Hardwick and what's Tommy? What did Tommy play? I forget his name. The guy who played Tommy. I met him once. I think he's cool. He was cool as hell. Cool white boy. But Omari Hardwick played Ghost, and they just ran off with like they made a whole universe because you got Power. Then you had what? The Tommy had his story. Then you had Raising Canaan, which was kind of dope.
Yeah.
It was kind of dope. I followed it for a few seasons, and then I just get disinterested after a while. Like I just be like, ah,
I watched the first season of Tom. I never got into Raising Canaan because, in my opinion, Raising Canaan and BMF, it was like the same
yeah,
story.
yeah,
It was pretty much the same story. It's just
right,
one was fictional and one was
based on reality.
based off true events, but it was all the same thing.
Yeah,
Um, and honestly, it wasn't really true. It wasn't really real.
Nah,
It wasn't really.
no, but
Yeah, kind of. And then when I saw the way they did Omari at the end of that, when you know that somebody's getting messed over, who worked really hard to put something together, that was all built off of him. He was really the energy
yeah,
that pushed that. And I'm not saying that the rest of the ensemble cast didn't play their part and didn't do their roles, but let's just be real. It was, hmm, yeah, it was compromising, in my opinion.
you said
It's just my opinion.
Carla said we got to watch Snowfall. I'm gonna talk about Snowfall in a minute. You know that's why. Well, allegedly, right? That's why they got rid of what's his name?
Who?
Boys in the Hood director,
John Singleton.
John Singleton. John Singleton was saying so much. He was laying so much game in Snowfall. In fact, Snowfall really was a rip. They stole it, and I'm gonna just say allegedly, right? But they basically stole it from Freeway Rick's Cracks in the System book.
Mm.
Antonio Moore, I think, was, because he's a film guy too. The guy, I think he was working on the whole thing to get Freeway Rick Ross' story out there, and that's basically loose based around Freeway Rick Ross's life because it's Snowfall. That was his life. If you look at it, a lot of similarities of what was going on in Snowfall was his life. And yeah, and but I'm
That's
hurt.
Hollywood for you. They'll steal it from the real person who deserves to be able to, I guess, capitalize off of their own intellectual knowledge and property of what happened in their life or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
And then they'll just come up with their own rip of it
Yeah.
and give it to some executive producers who look nothing like the people that had anything to do with it, and then boop de boop de boop.
What did he say? Did he just got exposed? Whoa, well, I got to check that out. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, let me get back to what I was originally talking about. I'm sorry, I was talking y'all. You said Snowfall. We were talking about Tommy and Ghost, but supposedly the Snowfall was based and stolen from Freeway Rick Ross' life. And if you read his book, you'll see. And then the funny thing is yeah, Singleton passed before it was even done. He wasn't supposed to do it. Like he basically said, you know what, I'm going to do it because he's talking a lot. If any of my members, y'all saw that video I did long back day with my nephews and I'm rapping. And I've been in the community. I've been just information. That's what I deal with. And I know about the CIA and the DEA and the Iran Contra. I'm talking about that in that song Broken Records. Y'all can go to if you're a member, you go to my um members tab and you can see all the exclusive videos and stuff. Broken Records is talking about that. The DEA, the CIA, Bill Casey helped us push this substance. Talking about all the stuff that was going on in the 80s. Now, you're not supposed to in Hollywood, you're not supposed to give um too much game. I'll say it like that. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'll look at certain films, I'll look at certain shows because like I said, a lot of these directors and a lot of these people in Hollywood, they're already like you to go into Hollywood, you're a Gnostic. Look it up. You gotta know certain stuff. And then they put certain stuff, they embed certain stuff within the film or television show. That's why I talked about predictive programming. When
And can you please, when you say words like Gnostic, can you make sure that you preface what you mean? Because there are several people online, especially here on YouTube, that have different interpretations of what they say Gnostic
when
means.
I say Gnostic, I'm talking about dealing with knowledge, and I'm not talking about the 607 Unk version of it, and I'm not talking about the demiurge being and then the God of the Bible being the devil. I'm not talking like that. I'm talking in another way. I'm just saying that a lot of these people are out. Let's just say they're black pill for the most part. You go into Hollywood, you're black pill. I'll just say it like that. That's pretty much how I'll say it. And a lot of times, if you know, like the way these directors are, if you know how they are, if you know their history, you know you watch their films from time over time, you'll get to understand their ideologies and their psychologies, and you could either identify and just understand how they think, or it's kind of like like what's old boy who did Eyes Wide Shut? That was his last film.
Stanley Kubrick.
Right. Now,
That was
what's
crazy.
what's the fame? What was his first film that he did?
I mean, he did Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork
Was
Orange.
that his first? I
No,
think
that one is
that wasn't
first.
his
That one is first.
first.
But he did Space Odyssey. What in what did one that the who is he the one that's tied to the moon landing?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I mean, I was a big Kubrick fan.
me too.
The Shining. Who can
Mm-hmm.
ever forget
Mm-hmm.
The Shining? That was
Mm-hmm.
probably one of his most greatest and cult classic films. And to end with Eyes Wide Shut is really interesting because, nobody talks about that movie.
No.
People talk about it, but they don't talk about it. You know what I mean? People mention it, people will bring it up,
Mm-hmm.
people will say, "Oh yeah," it's funny. There was a lot of things that ended with that movie. There the production company ended, his life ended. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman's
That
marriage
ended with
ended.
at the end of that
Like
movie.
there was a
Yep.
lot of stuff that ended. And that movie had three different versions.
I was told.
And the version that got released was the one that Kubrick didn't agree to.
Of course.
That last edit, from what I was told, allegedly was completed after he passed away,
Makes sense.
which means there were other things that were taken out. There were other things that were probably pushed around, because if anybody is paying attention to the nature of what that movie was all about, it hid the fact that they were talking about Hollywood and that they were talking about the entertainment industry.
Right. Right.
They showed you how these two normal people, affluent, fell into this,
Cult like, or what was
well,
it? Not a cult, but just yeah, and
exclusive
right. And
gathering.
that was so groundbreaking at the time to be even talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Right? I
Well,
mean,
it was definitely groundbreaking to be talking about it because nobody was really speaking openly about all of the underground, sex clubs
right,
that we have here in the United States,
right.
and just how easy it is to step over into that life. And it's funny because, like I've said on several occasions, I was in the life for a while, and it's weird. It really is a completely different reality. It's a completely different reality, and once you're in that reality, there's a mark on you. You know what I mean? There's definitely a mark on you because you're going to run into all kinds of people, people in city government, people in state government, people in your churches, people that work in just all walks of life. You're going to run into police officers, you're going
Mm-hmm.
to run into detectives, and
Mm-hmm.
they're not there working in their capacity.
Mm-mm.
They're there partaking in all of this. So it's and I think that was a really interesting thing about the way it was set up, because once they realized that Tom Cruise character had hustled his way in, and they realized that there was somebody who wasn't a part of the squad, the crew, all of a sudden, all of this emphasis on his life. He was being followed by police. He was
Mm-hmm.
being investigated. They
Mm-hmm.
had private investigators following him, all kinds of things,
Mm-hmm.
just from going to a wild sex party, and it's crazy because, the guy who brought him in, who was played by, what was his name? Oh goodness. Why can't I think of his name now? It doesn't matter. He's a director as well. He's actually a very famous director himself. But the character that he played, he was like, man, I wasn't telling you this to do this and to do that, man. You done got yourself into trouble. You got me into trouble. People they blaming me for you being the you know too much. You know what I mean? Like he got very, very, very sketchy and very edgy. And essentially in the end, he kind of like turned his friend over, his client over to these people because he was like, yo, these are the people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at it, it's the same structure of everything that we talked about that goes on in the industry, especially in the entertainment industry. And if you look at the nature of the parties, the way people were indulging in each other in a very, very, very aggressive and ritualistic manner, you know what I mean? And it's so funny because if you really listen to these freak offs, like, wearing the masks
Mm-hmm.
and all of that, it's the exact same thing that was in Eyes Wide Shut.
Right.
So it kind of makes you wonder what Stanley Kubrick was on when he decided he was going to make that film with like Hollywood's most celebrated couple at the time, like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman back then. They were like the Hollywood couple. It was it said a lot. It said
Mm-hmm.
a lot. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get carried away.
The certain directors you say been talking about weird stuff even in 1962. Oh yeah, you talking about is that Kubrick with the low leak? Yeah. Side note, Kubrick. I had someone who was like a filmmaker. I met him some years back, and he was a filmmaker, or at least an editor. And he said this is how he got into the game. When The Shining came out, he was in New York. He was working with Kubrick, and the company, production company, film company, whatever, they finalized the film. They put it out there, and this was back in the day. It wasn't digital. It was film. I talked about it back in the day when I worked at a movie theater, and old Jim, the projectionist, used to be like, "Hey man, I'm gonna teach you how to cut the trailers in these films." Blah blah blah. It was no joke. I was not scared of the technology. Man, I'm not trying to mess this up. I'm gonna get in trouble. Put it in backwards. It could run. It's crazy. Film is different. It ain't like going into Adobe Premiere and changing some stuff. But this dude was telling me he got into editing because he was, I guess, friends with some of Kubrick's people. He was a young cat, really young. Put him on, and they put the film out on the weekend. Kubrick went to go see it, and Kubrick was very dissatisfied with a particular scene, and he's like, "F that, take that out." And the films were already out all throughout New York, and I think it was New York. I don't think it was L.A. I forget exactly, but I know he said New York because I was just like, and this was, think about The Shining. Was it the early '70s, right? And I said, "Dang, that's crazy." And he was like, "Yeah, Kubrick didn't want a particular scene. I forget exactly what it was, but then um, he instructed all of his people, his interns, to go out, and they supposed to cut. They not supposed to. They did. They cut that particular. They spliced a certain scene out, and Cooper gave him the exact instructions. This from here to here, and then boom, they took it out, put it together. So like the first weekend, or actually like the first Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, people saw the original the way it was, but Kubrick wasn't satisfied with it. He cut it, had it cut then like that Sunday because somebody came and saw it Friday, then they came back and saw it Sunday and was like, "This ain't the same film." Like the audience was pissed off. Nonetheless, that's just side note. Let me get back because I was talking about 50 and this whole power spinoffs and stuff like that. Welcome to everybody who recently came into the building. Before we even go any further, I'm just talking more or less about just stuff in the industry, some stuff that kind of like pissed me off. Speaking of Kubrick being pissed off, but yeah, we got another television show talking about crack. 50 Cent drops the other spinoff to Power called Power Origins.
Mhm.
Yeah, so then I see footage here of the guy that plays the young ghost. He's walking with uh, the young Canaan. So this is the origin story of them getting together and whatever. So yeah, here's the footage right here. I just saw it. I said let me talk about that because Jag just went off on 50 on the go check out the video she did about 50 Cent. She was funny as hell, hilarious. Uh, what else? I guess I'll just get into this. This is a precursor to what I'm saying about uh, Joe Budden. Come get your trash. Now Joe Budden can eat a fat baby's DI because he is the one that walked in this Rory character. He walked in the Rory character into the culture. I don't even know where Rory came from, but all of a sudden, Rory is under fire for old tweets, old anti-black tweets. And I'm gonna show some of y'all some of them. But I was reading a lot of them. He deleted his Twitter. For those who don't know, Joe Budden had a podcast, the JBP, right? Joe Budden podcast. And originally it was him and Rory and Maul, a guy named Maul. Maul, I'm gonna get on him. It's a whole nother conversation about these types of people who are in hip hop. And this is what I'm talking about. Joe Budden, before we even get into Joe Budden, no, because I wanted you to go in on Joe Budden because he done went in on you. No Diddy, right?
Why did he go? I'm still trying to figure out why he was talking about.
I don't know either. I don't know either. But Joe Budden, you got to come get your trash before I even talk about Joe. Because the thing is like we were talking about Joe Budden's career. Like, how did he even become a thing? I just remember the one joint, Pump It Up. Then I remember him being part of Slaughterhouse. That was it. Like, and I know he had his move music. And then, I'll give it to you. Drake was a big Joe Budden fan. I remember that. But it's kind of like, hold
Drake.
on. Drake was a big Joe Budden fan. I'll say it like that.
That's weird.
Yeah. But wait, since we're talking about certain people who get brought into hip hop, I see this one dude named M80. Never heard of him, but he was saying a whole bunch of stuff about Killer Priest. And shout out to Killer Priest. Shout out to Black Diamond. Y'all go get that album that I produced called The Contradiction. It's by Black Diamond, but Killer Priest is all over. So shout out to him. But I was very disappointed in seeing what M80 was saying about Killer Priest. I just want to talk about it real quick. No, I don't want to get too involved because I saw some time ago Killer Priest name was being drugged through the mud. And for those who don't know who Killer Priest is, just really look up the Bible, basic instruction before leaving Earth. One of the a dope, prolific song in hip hop. So Killer Priest stamped his name in hip hop, and then that whole album, that first album, God, what was the name of that first album? I remember having that tape. That was a dope ass album. So shout out to Killer Priest. And then he was part of Sons of Man, I think, or he
Yep.
did some stuff with Sons of Man. I remember that Sons of Man. I was a Wu fanatic. 97, 98. I had everything that came. The Swarm, Sons of Man. It was all kind of just random ass albums that came out that was Wu affiliate. But shout out to Killer Priest. Met him in person, cool dude. But this dude named this dude right here, M80. He talked about he got into a fight with Killer Priest, and This is a white dude. Broke his finger, called him all kind of name, called him gay. I'm like, wait, what? And they ain't just let this dude just walking around. Oh, okay. But he said he said, speaking of my eyes wide shut, this fool said this.
I've been in rooms where I'm fucking and he's 5 feet away fucking. So I know the kind of weirdo shit he does. Like, like that's in the Kill a Priest chapter. Like when I busted a nut in that chick's mouth and fucking then Priest starts tongue kissing her, I woke up like 5 hours later.
I'm not even finna replay that. I'm not even gonna replay that because I'm not gonna help throw dirt on the brother's name like that. He's writing a book. M80 exposes C-Ray, Walls, and Killer Priest. He's writing a book, this dude named M80. And this is what I have a problem with. I be having a problem with certain people who get into the industry. I saw the homie a couple of months back. I ain't gonna say who he is, but white dude. I got much respect for him. Because he looked out for Jail Felony. Shout out to Jail Felony. Jail Felony's like family. Y'all don't know Jail Felony got. I wish he would have released this song. He was dissing the shit out of Jay-Z back in the day. I heard that joint. Oh, Jail is the dopest, but it's a reason why he didn't go no further. And I will talk about that another time.
And
I gotta tell you.
why he didn't release that record.
I know that record was hard. That record, look, you want to talk about diss records? One of the dopest diss records ever, I would say No Vaseline by Ice Cube, but J.O. Felony did not release this diss record that he had towards Jay-Z and the Rockefeller. Rock. I take them all out. J.O. know what it is. I wish you would release that record, bro. And they dogged him like I don't even think he really could go by J.O. Felony now. He has to go by his gunman. This game is crazy. But we got these infiltrators in the game, and I'll just say somebody that's associated to Jo, which he's a partner of mine. He's cool people though. But he made a claim, and maybe I shouldn't say it, but I'm gonna say it, that he saw just like what this guy said about, and I said I ain't running this back. Just like what M80 said about Killer Priest, he said the same thing. My guy said the same thing about Busta, saying, "Oh, I saw Busta do," and I was just like, I'm not accepting that from you, no." And dude is hip hop, like he's not a vulture. I'll just say it like that. He's really hip hop, but then I have a whole different. When I say you're hip hop, but if you're attached to the industry, that's a whole nother conversation. But I do know dude is hip hop because I he goes back with a few of my people that I came up with back in the day. For those who know Jurassic 5, Charlie Tuna, that's like my brother. I used to rap with his little brother James Samaj, or Samaj. I said James Samaj back then, but that's like family. Like L.A. hip hop, it's a small freaking circle. It's funny, like everybody be knowing each other. J5. I was just backstage with yeah, they're my fan. That's family, man. Much love to J5. Shout out to Charlie Tuna, all of them. Project Blow, all of them. But dude said something about Bus, and I'm like, because y'all heard what's that dude name? Big Homie CC saying that Busta Rhymes was a zest monster, and that time was the first time I've heard some stuff about Bus. I don't disrespect Bus. I don't like. My thing is I don't care. Just because it's like your art, I separate all that. Like, dude dropped 5 consecutive dope albums in my youth that I've always copped. So I appreciate his rapping ability, his song, all that. But he's like, yeah, just the same story that his fool was saying. He said something about Bus and white boy. No offense, I'm just saying he's a white boy, and I was just like, I'm not trying to hear that. Not from you, not at all. It may have been true. I don't think so, but I don't know. That was the first time I've heard about the whole Zest Monster story. Now we got this guy, M80, talking all this about Killer Priest, And wait, hold on.
Please.
Let me forward this because I ain't gonna be able to stomach too much of this. How can I forward it? Because he's talking about Jizza. Hold on. And number one, don't talk about Jizza. Jizza's one of the most solid. Like I met Jizza and RZA about 2 years ago. Show me much love. Jizza showed me much love. And Jizza's cool as hell. He's talking all kind of crazy stuff just about the OGs. And again, this is not celebrity worship. This is not no, oh, you can't talk about, no, I'm not there. I'm not there. See, I'm saying it's like, you'll see what I'm talking about. And you understand what I'm talking about. It's a certain, it's just
Hey
a
there,
protocol.
everybody. Welcome.
I'm looking forward. I'm not really trying to hear all your
Today, we're going to read a chapter
Henceforth.
from my forthcoming book, dropping November 3rd,
Okay.
titled 100 Ways I've Almost Died While Working the Rap Industry, based on a fuck ton of true stories.
Okay, let me just go. He's talking about his book, and I'm gonna have to go get his book. No, I ain't no cap. It came out, so I will get it.
Why?
Just to read it,
Why?
just to get it. Like if don't ask me why I had Superhead's book. I didn't get her second book, but I'm just saying. I read, and if it's about hip hop, I'm gonna read. But
Saying this, you also used to buy Blacktail. So I can understand why you would have.
look at her trying to shame me for buying black magazines.
I'm not shaming you for buying black magazines. I'm saying I can understand why you would have Elizabeth Olsen's book. You know, with the Blacktail collection. I get it.
Somebody did Cliff Notes, and they basically, and I'm not gonna go too deep into what he's saying, but he's doing a live reading of the book, and he talks about Jizza's assumption that he's a weirdo by attempting whack white boy humor, mispronouncing Jizza's name, and then he also talks about Killer Priest doing gay shit. He claimed in the Panda Chop video. And then he talks about Killer Priest and Ghostface, or there was an attempt to do a divide and conquer thing between Killer Priest and Ghostface. Now, my thing is this. The reason why I'm reading this book is just from like journalistic standpoints, just to kind of, and then I wouldn't even holler at Killer Priest about this because it doesn't. I'll say it like this. It doesn't.
It serves no purpose.
It doesn't. That's like somebody coming up to me and saying, like, my boy, I was talking to my boy, and he swear to God, he said, man, right after you left me, man, a video came up of Jaguar, right, talking about you and blah, blah, blah. So Jaguar went on Real Life and played some audio of some gay fool talking about he had relations with me. I've never met this dude in my life. I ain't never talked about it until now. So if someone came up to me and asked me about it, I would look at him like, but this my boy, so he know me. So he was like, yeah, right when you left me, it was funny because I just shook my head. I said, yeah, man. And he just started laughing, but he wasn't laughing at me. He was just laughing at the situation. And it's like, I wouldn't go up to Killer Priest and ask him about this because it's like, it doesn't, people be saying all kind of stuff just to say all kind of stuff. But
that people really took that whole thing out of context because my whole purpose for playing it was to show that people were really running around making up stories, lying because I knew for a fact that that person had never met you and that you had never met that person. Yet people were running with this and pretending like it was real.
well, I know, I get it. But at the same time, what I'm saying is, well, just like with this situation, he's running around here saying all kind of stuff. It might be true. I don't think so. I met Killer Priest, solid dude. I don't know, but like it's funny how we let certain people into the party, into the club, and all they're gonna do is stab you in the back or do something that's gonna taint the culture. So back to what I was saying about Rory Ma and Joe Budden. Now, again, we were talking about Joe Budden.
No, absolutely. But before you move on,
Yeah.
talking about this weirdo guy talking about woo, is there any particular reason why after all of these years he's decided to release all of this information now? Is there any reason why? Like,
There's no reason. I don't see. The thing is see, you got a lot of
like
cats.
I've had a lot of stuff that I've had to say about stuff that I experienced with people in hip hop and whoop de whoop, but I've also explained why. You know what I mean? There was something that happened. There was something terrible that happened. There was
Hmm.
a great affront or a great offense that happened. There was some kind of betrayal to the culture, and it was like, you know what? I have no reason to spare your reputation, considering what you've done,
Hmm.
because this is who you are, and people really need to know this is who the fuck you are, while we're sitting here pretending and covering you and keeping, like, that was my purpose for saying a lot of the things, because I wanted to get the record straight, because the very people that I was speaking against were rewriting history
Hmm.
from some really monumental people who deserve their respect, who
Hmm.
deserved to be remembered
Hmm.
favorably. And
Hmm.
instead, people were throwing them under the bus for the purposes of rewriting legacy and trying to make themselves seem like they were superheroes. So it was like, yeah, nah, let's remove all of the bullshit. This is what you think about them, that's fine. But this is who you actually fucking are, and I
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a much different conversation than, hey, I was sitting around all of these years and I was just waiting for the right time to just, come out and make money off of disparaging your name and just destroying you just because it's cool today. Like, that's much different. And that's kind of like what this feels like. Like, that's why I was asking before we even get any
Before we move further.
further, like, what was his reason for doing all of this, because you're sitting here talking about being involved in very, very, very close, intimate situations with these men who I'm assuming at one point in time regarded you as an ally. And it's real funny because while he's sitting there trying to be really, really, really disrespectful regarding them, he's not talking about the fact that he was a scumbag that was there, that was totally down, that was all about it. And to me, that's kind of crazy, because you're sitting here saying that you were sitting right there while this man was having intercourse with someone else right in front of you, while you were having intercourse.
And then he said the dude tongue kissed the girl after he, like, y'all.
Like, no, but and what was really disrespectful was, it wasn't the fact that he had to go back and clarify, no, she didn't get a chance to wash her mouth out. He literally, so basically, he was insinuating that, you know, this person who was an ally of his at one point in time enjoyed engaging in having his bodily fluids in his mouth. So it's like you're being really, really, really disrespectful. You're not really saying why, and the simple fact that you're making it a book, it's feeling very Kevin Federline to me.
Yeah, it looks like he's the guy who is burning all. He's crashing out. He done burnt all the bridges that he can cross, and he can't go do. He's not. He definitely can't work with none of the Wu brothers ever. So he's just crashing out. So he said, "I'm gonna just do this book. Probably got a couple of racks from it, and then that's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like. Like he's yeah. Like, to me, he's not credible. Like, I'm not even really paying attention to the story. It's like you could say something like that, salacious, to get certain people's attention. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, people get online and they try to say certain stuff to get views. That's pretty much just like, let me go back. 607 up just about a week ago, or I just saw it a week ago. Well, I saw it and it was from a week ago, where he was interviewing Omar Gooding. and he just got real stupid and disrespectful, like looking for a viral moment. Now Omar good, and I told you, I told y'all, Omar is not no punk. Omar will beat your ass. And Omar basically was in that video was like, man, we got space and opportunity. What you want to do? You number one, you did a form of disrespect already, like because he called his brother Cuban Gooden Jr. And then he called Omar Gooden Jr. Like Omar left. Omar just got up and left. People would just be looking for moments online just so that you could crash out.
You know what I don't understand? Why he would go in the first place? Like, who was the one that told him to do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Only time I saw I only know of 607 Unc because of real life. And then the guy who said that joke about 607 Uncle eat through this brick wall, that shit was fun. I don't even know what does 607 Unc do. Does he rap? Does he produce? I don't know. Y'all,
The claim was that he wrote Nelly's first big single. That he was
he wrote EI or he wrote Downtown Bay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's him.
That's what he's
Was he part of the what was Nelly's crew called? What was Nelly's crew called? I didn't forgot it. What was Nelly's crew called? The Saint Lunatics. Was he part of Saint Lunatics? He looked like he could have been the dude that was who was the one Saint Lunatic that was always with his face? That could have been 607 Up. That could have been him. I don't know. It was one dude that was kind of like, he kind of looked I'll say let me not say the word pod ed. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, the dude who was doing that probably was 607 Up. I think that was him.
He also said that he sacrificed his own child to get ahead and
What? What?
And he said that he said a lot of things, but he was the one that was talking about Lilith and he's very interesting. Like he ain't never had nothing negative to say about me. I ain't gonna go into having anything negative to say about him. He's doing whatever he's doing online, and
yeah, this is nobody's dissing 607 Up. I'm just saying.
What I will say is that I've seen him sit with a bunch of divisive people. I've seen him with the no jumper people.
Oh, he was on No Jumper?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna pull up the No Jumper stuff too here with this Rory stuff. Go ahead.
So like I said, it's just really interesting. And then out of nowhere he started his own channel.
Mm-hmm.
Like 200,000 subscribers, like almost right off the bat.
Wow.
He went big time, for YouTube fairly quickly. So, and now he has his own, he's doing his own thing. He's sitting with other people, but he's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
What I'm not understanding is what Omar is doing. I don't understand it. And that's what I'm saying. And this has nothing to do with 607 Unc, but my thing is why would you go there expecting anything other than what you got?
Right.
Like that's
the
thing that I don't understand.
Yeah.
Who told you nobody let you knew what you were walking yourself into? Like it's he's been making the rounds on YouTube, but it's just funny because it's looking like somebody's got it out for him a little bit. You getting trolled by camera.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting trolled pretty heavy.
Well, word on the street, because my folks, I'm in contact with. I've kicked it with Omar a few times. He's cool people. And he's still mad at Jag. That's what I was told. And I was just like, dude, we're gonna get that straight. Don't worry about it. And he's not mad like in a real mad way. But I think just like how you said he's being trolled all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's like he's mad because that's what I think it is too. Like the 607 coming in and like lightweight disrespecting him.
Well, number one, he spoke on me before I spoke on him.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
I thought
he had something to say when he was sitting over there. It was either with Cam or with Vlad. I'm not quite sure. I think Vlad might have asked him a question because don't forget what I had to say about him was said on Real Life.
I remember that.
And they were asking me how I felt about what he had to say.
So he started it.
Me.
Got it.
So that's just number one. I never spoke on him. There was no reason for me to speak on him. They came to me, they asked me a question about how I felt about something that he had to say about me, and I cut it real short. I cut it real short and said what I had to say, especially considering View It and his
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I felt like it was a troll, you know, for him trolling me, like to a certain extent. So, you know, I did what I do.
And I'll say this, and I understand why if he's mad, it's nothing. He's mad, but it ain't like, oh, I gotta go see her type mad. That's what I'm hearing. It ain't like well, that's already said and done. We're going whatever, but it's already like a situation where, you know, they probably gonna do a song, but I don't think she's gonna do a song with him. But I'm just saying, like, because you know he's doing this thing, and again, she said what she said because
he comes from a long line of talented musicians. His father was a very talented.
His father was dope. Yes. Shout out to his family. You know, they really good people from New York came to LA. Whoop whoop. Now Jag said what she said, and it's because I can attest to it. There's a rapper named Gorilla Black who was supposed to be in Notorious, and it's funny we're speaking on what's his name? No. I'm talking about when it came to Boys in the Hood. What's his name? Because he was supposed to direct this. John Singleton did end up directing the movie Notorious. It was Notorious B.I.G.'s. Yeah, Gorilla Black was supposed to play Notorious, but they picked that other guy. Gorilla Black told me a story, or told us a story about how he got propositioned by the director. And ever since then, he got blackballed from the industry because basically, you know, he asked dude to, you know, SMD or some, and dude, I don't get down like that, blah, blah, blah. Singleton got on the phone, say, hey, he ain't one of us. And then all of a sudden, all types of stuff happened to him, and he ended up going to jail for 9 years. That's a whole nother conversation. We could talk about that. But Omar didn't have to do all that. I know that. I don't know if Tyrese had to do. I don't think Tyrese, but I'm just saying, look, y'all start really peeking behind the scenes and start seeing who's who and who's doing what in these industry and what you got to do to get certain roles. You know what it is. But what Jag her clap back and what she said, she was valid for saying it, but she didn't know. But Omar didn't have to do that. Omar is not, you know, that type. But
listen to me. All I could do is judge by the pedigree of
who you exactly
and what you doing.
That was it, because
I know what Singleton was popping off on and what he had going on. And I've heard from other people what he requires from his actors.
Yes.
So at the end of the day,
and all that was true. Don't get it. And I'm not trying to talk about him because he's passed on, but you remember the first person I introduced you to that she used to date John Singleton. Remember?
I know somebody else that used to date John Singleton too.
Yeah. This was before the whole Boys in the Hood thing. But long story short, because they both went to USC. But long story short, yeah. Like Jag don't be out here capping like that. I think she said it because of it was like a guilty by association type of thing. And I get it. And I said, yeah, so that was the misunderstanding. But at the same time, it's like, well, I didn't know he came at you first. So it's kind of like shots fired. I get it. But no, he's not. 607 essentially was trolling them. And I think
no, he was most definitely.
He was trolling them. And I'm not here caping for Omar either. But Omar ain't no punk. I just say it like that. Omar a real nigga.
When it gets to the point, and when I look back at it now, honestly, it was looking like whatever that whole situation was about, they were trying to create.
They were trying to create yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is they probably didn't even know I got like a 1 degree separation to Omar. That's funny. But we were at a situation where we were working and his brother, who happened to be a Diddy, you know,
loyalist,
right, and was with that company. It was too coincidental. It's a lot of funny stuff going on. But I got a direct connect to Omar, and it ain't like I can get him on the phone with her right now. It ain't even no issue. I know he said he mad, but it ain't like a real mad. He's just mad. But I think it's because of I didn't know he shot fire first. It's like, dude, come on. It is what it is. Let's just keep it like that. You get what I'm saying?
No, but that's the internet though.
Yeah.
You get somebody And see, and that's the problem. A lot of these platforms, they working behind the scenes together to create beef, to generate views and stuff like that. So you never know what's going on. But
Why somebody put for this? Let me get back to what he said. So Killer Priest had the Bible, basic instruction before leaving Earth. Somebody put the BIBTB, basic instruction before taking pussy.
oh, that's ignorant.
Y'all ain't finna troll Killer Priest, and we ain't even having none of that. That's what I'm gonna say. Uh, yeah, if that was the case, he would have been disowned by the Wu. But let me not go there. I gonna go there.
Oh,
Oh man, and I still ain't heard Ghostface Killer's son. I heard he's spitting, but I'm not even trying to hear that. I'm just gonna, you know, don't meet your heroes, y'all. Look, all right. Where am I at? Where am I at? What is this ugly mother? Timberland officially announced the next verse. What is this real? The next verse is gonna be Jay-Z and Lil Wayne. Is this real?
no, he's probably gonna do an AI version of it.
Two ugly dreadlock looking motherfuckers. Yeah, that's gonna be. I don't know. I'm not gonna watch it. I don't like neither one of them. That's just me. I don't like. I'm not a big fan of Wayne or Jay. You already know that. But if that's the case, y'all tell me who won. Tupac. Um. Okay, so I done lost my thing because essentially I wanted to get into this. And he said he better troll if he want to keep his job with Kevin Hart and the crew. What's up, Teresa Singh? What's up, Christoph, Juju, classic music? Look, all right, I'm gonna get into this. Finally, I was just trying to read what Juju was saying. I don't know what he was saying. Rory and Maul. If y'all don't know who Rory is, he's the ginger, beard, balding white guy. And Maul's the black bitch ass nigga. That's the only way I could describe. I don't know how he was in the culture or how he got introduced to the culture. How did he get on Joe Budden's radar? Now, like, let me keep it a buck with you. Me, I've been MCing since a teenager, a kid, probably wasn't the best MC, but I've had people want me to ghostwrite for them. I'll say it like that. Somebody did want to sign me, but I didn't go for that, number one. But I took the route of journalist and documentarian, produced a documentary on West Coast hip hop. And a lot of people know me from being in the culture as number one, maybe an MC, producer. Then, oh, you do documentaries, cool. Now they associate me with, oh, that what the old girl call you, General Rice man. I'm more than that, y'all. I'm an MC. I'm true to the culture. And when I say true to the culture, I'm talking about hip hop. And when I say hip hop, I'm talking about all elements of hip hop. And I'm talking about the higher infinite power healing our people. And I'm talking about the voice of the streets, not someone who is a culture vulture and not someone like Maul. Maul is the black guy who was on the Joe Budden podcast, who's like, he's a bitch ass nigga because I think, I don't think he really been around the hood. Thank you, James Sweeting, for becoming a member. Appreciate you.
Welcome.
Um, and not that you gotta be hood, because I'm not considered hood. I don't know. Am I considered a pookie? This because of my man wig. This is a wig, y'all. This is not my real hair.
You need to stop.
This ain't even my hairline.
Number one.
In fact, this is AI.
You know what? You a mess. And you are definitely not a pookie, but you are definitely hood.
Am I hood?
I would say
I'm not hood.
Yeah, you're like you're Poindexter, but you're hood.
I'm Poindexter, but I'm hood. That don't even make no damn sense.
You're Dexter.
Okay. But you got people like Maul who are, I'll say bitch ass niggas because they are the types that allow the Rorys in. And when I say Rory's, I'm talking about people that are very disrespectful to the culture. And I'm not just talking about black people. I said the culture. So someone like number one, let me go back. Joe Button. Joe Button was known. I remember seeing him BET Uncut, Pump It Up, late 90s, early 2000s, Pump It Up. And then he had the mood music. And then, like I said, Drake was a big fan of Joe Button. Right. But Joe Button had like I guess he had his thing. I'm not taking nothing away from Joe Button as far as like MCing, because like I said, y'all go back and listen to my stuff, whatever. Joe Button, though, I think the last time I heard him as an MC was on Slaughterhouse. He said, I've been in live 30 seconds. You can tell this man ain't hood. What you talking about? Thank you, Big Breakfast. Big Breakfast. Big Breakfast. Big Breakfasts. Big Breakfast. He said I'm not hood, or she said I'm not hood. You been and yeah, I'm not hood. She talking about I'm hood. She ain't even grew up in the hood.
What are you talking about?
You didn't grow up in the hood.
What are you talking about?
Like how you not you culture, you black, but you not like I'm talking like ghetto hood, like that's what I'm talking
I
about.
lived in Richmond Projects.
When?
Oh wow, you don't know.
I don't know. No, when?
When I left home and I moved.
Oh, I'm talking about your okay. So when I'm talking about hood, I'm just
See,
saying
this is the funny thing
you're
about it.
upcoming. You're upcoming.
No, exactly.
Your upbringing.
Yeah, my upbringing. That's the funny thing about it. I lived on both sides.
No, I can tell that. I can tell, but I'm just saying where you came from.
Yeah, my family came from North Philly.
Right. So you came with a decent family, but then
And then we moved to the suburbs.
Okay.
And then we worked in the city. And I was always in the city. And I moved back to the city in my late adolescence, teenage years, and I stayed in the city. So, and I built myself up on my own without my family, without my parents. So I started from the gutter.
When she told me about the
own.
the crack house
Yeah.
that she ran, I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So I grew up in all around LA, Compton, stuff like that. But the most notable, 63rd and Crenshaw. If you know LA, 63rd, how many Crenshaw by nature, how many of y'all know 63rd and Crenshaw if you're from LA? Say true code switchers are based on situations. Yeah, presented at time. Yeah, for real. So yeah, I grew up in the hood, but I'm not hood. But I don't look down on people. Like, and Jay don't look down on people that are hood either. I'll say it like that. You get what I'm saying?
They are. They are. See, that's the thing. People who didn't know us would think that I had your childhood and you had mine.
There you go. Okay. Okay.
That's what's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, yeah. I'm street smart and who's a pussy? Bob Lahurdy. Who's a pussy?
I have no idea. Cause it ain't.
Oh, he said F God. He said God is okay. All right. I gotta get you up out of here. You gotta go. You gotta go. Whoa. Yeah, we don't know. And even though, come on, y'all, we that's a whole nother conversation to talk about that God and all this and that, whatever. Because the Elohim, yeah, Yahuwah.
Yeah, they just came through to try to disrupt some stuff.
I get it exactly. But yeah, look, Joe Button. Let me get back to Joe Button.
Don't forget to hit the like on your way out.
Oh yeah, you could hit the like. I don't trip. Here's Josh. What's up, Josh? White people will not only rummage in the garbage bins, but live in them. They will shit their pants and walk around. Ugh. Josh is cold. He's spilling the beans on white society. We're gonna talk about white society, Josh, and I hope you stay here and you could kind of interject because here's the issue. When I talk about hip hop, I grew up in a pretty hood area, but I went to like diverse schools. I had a whole bunch of diverse friends. I'll just say it like that, right? And that was our common, like I said, the homie from Sri Lanka, the Jewish homie, the white homie, the Hispanic homie, Chinese homie, hip hop, music or hip hop, right? It wasn't always hip hop. Sometimes, alternative, we love. Stone Temple Pilots and grunge and all that early rock, but it's music. And rock was ours too. Let's not go there. Long story short, we got people like Maul who will co-sign a person like a Rory. And here's the problem that I have with a person like a Rory. Is this the right tweet? Okay, here it is. Does it all come up? Rory from the podcast, he used to be part of Joe Budden's podcast. They broke off and then Rory and Maul started their own thing. Rory is the white guy. Maul's the black guy. Like I said, Maul's like one of these, like he ain't got no backbone. He ain't standing up for black folks. He'll let you call him the N-word, you know. Anyway.
It's weird.
Yeah. Anyway, Rory is under fire for a bunch of old tweets that just came up, came up out of nowhere. They came back to bite him in the ass. You get what I'm saying? Let me see. Somebody, and here's the problem too. Somebody said something about his tweets, and in 2011, they were saying it was really about how black men view black women than him being racist because he was repeating some of the stuff that black men were saying. And I'm like, not true. This dude went on and said, oh, he called Beyonce a hood rat. That's why I'm glad we were talking about who's hood and all that or whatever, because Beyonce isn't, I wouldn't say she's a hood rat.
She's not hood at all.
She's not hood, no. But he called her a hood rat. These are like talking points of like the Groyper group. You get what I'm saying? This is what I have on the screen is one of his tweets. Oh, no, not one, multiple tweets that he had about black women and black people. Like, what do you say? The top one says, how you slim tender yellow bone, but your mom's a fat bitch tar baby. Nah, be something don't add up. I want no parts. He also says, so does our income. It says white people definitely age in dog years, and so do our income. Then here's another one where, he says, save that white boy fantasy for someone else. I'm not cutting any weave out your hair. Because I think someone said something about black women and white men and, being the best, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I don't like black. He basically was like, he called black women monkeys and roaches, allegedly, in his tweets. And he said he don't appreciate
any woman with poetic justice braids telling me what I can and cannot do.
A lot of anti-black, like, and speaking of anti-black.
You want to know what's funny? Bo Derek. Huge. Iconic, right? Model, supermodel, whatever, back in the late 70s, early 80s. One of her most popular pictures was her in cornrows.
Yeah, that was very iconic in the 70s, right?
It's funny.
Yeah. I'm behind, but did you see the video of the Diddler and Joe drink dancing in the middle of the night? I didn't. Yeah, I'm sure it's not on the internet like that no more. Yeah, but he went on to just say, and I'm not a big fan of Michelle Obama, but he was like F Michelle Obama, and he just was very disrespectful. Now I done said some things on Twitter, but I never had to delete any tweets, never. Nor did I have to delete my Twitter. This guy had to delete his whole Twitter. This fool Rory deleted his whole freaking Twitter.
Wow.
Hold on. I think I have some. Is this thing? Come on, let me see. Come on, why do you keep cutting off?
Yeah, but why?
Because he speaked on his old tweets and he said he's not apologizing for anyone that said I called black women ugly or roaches. Let me see. I have some and this is funny. This was on No Jumper because he was on No Jumper talking all kind of craziness.
Black women and how specifically just targeted you and our company to make sure that you are devalued and never mind. I'm gonna chill.
Is this real outrage or is fake outrage? Like people really tripping right now?
Apparently.
Man, what y'all here talking about Rory? They canceling your ass?
Yeah, no, I hate black women. I think all black women are ugly.
I've been trying to tell them that you felt that way.
Yeah. I think all black women are
I can't wait to put that while I was
ugly and disgusting. I only think white is the only pure beauty. As you know, as I tell you guys all the time, how much I love white women.
I don't know if you can really troll your way out of this one, man.
Like how much I hate black women and how I have specifically just targeted you and our company to make sure that
Okay, hold on.
I tried to get that point across to you. No, I couldn't agree more.
This was a
with
Twitter
everything
space
that you said.
not too long ago.
Hey, I just wanted to.
I couldn't agree more with everything that you said. My point the entire time has been saying I'm not apologizing for anyone that has said that I've called black women ugly or roaches. That's all I've said. I apologize for everything else, but don't ever say that I called black women ugly or roaches or anything that y'all have been trying to put on me, because I never said that. And I know Julian's here, so I'm sure that was added to it. But yeah, I've never said that. I agree with everything that you said.
Yeah, but Rory, you didn't, and this is G here, but Rory, you didn't lead with the apology.
Peace.
Yeah, so you.
No. Because what was led was that everyone was saying that I called black women ugly or who tried to get that point across to you.
Hold on, Rory. It's funny because they pulled up a tweet where he said something about if you ever meet a woman in the club and her name is Beyonce, I guarantee she got a weave or some. Yeah, so he's trying to troll his way out of the whole.
But that's not what it was led with, bro. I was here when Ev and them people was up here and.
Hold on, he said, "Ghetto crayons." This is a tweet that he did in 2010. Weave black and lace front blonde. That might upset some people. This is what he said. This is one of his tweets.
They brought up the receipts of the tweets, and you were just like you were being, bro. And this is the thing: you're denying. You're denying what we all saw here. Like you were being condescending. You were deflecting. You were being sarcastic.
Like the hood rat named Beyonce. Somebody said there are way worse baby names than Blue Ivy. And like I said, I'm not here to stick up for Beyonce or anything like that, but I'm just letting you know. This is who we have in the culture now.
Oh, you got it.
Right, you were being sarcastic, and
I always be sarcastic with something I never said.
No, but there was things that
what he said about Rihanna leaks a sex tape. Something these tweets are crazy. He had to delete his whole Twitter. These tweets are crazy. Black women wish they had hair, this type of hair. Okay.
That you actually said, and you were being sarcastic with that as well. You were saying like, "Oh, did I delete tweets?" You tell me, like, bro, like again, we don't have to rehash this shit because I just came up to address not even you. I came to address like really, and it's not to shift the fucking lens off of Rory, but it's really more so like when you have niggas like Maul and people like that around a motherfucker like Rory, that's what happens.
Yeah,
right? You have niggas that they just don't have no standard that they hold their friends to. So that's not what it was led.
Okay, let me see.
So that's not what it was led with, bro. I was here when Ev and them people was up here and they brought up the receipts of the tweets, and you were just like you were being, bro. And this is the thing: you're denying. You're denying what we all saw here. Like you were being condescending. You were deflecting. You were being sorry.
Okay. So, hold on. Do your black ass mother and grandmother know you don't like black women? No, I don't get it. He said, I never saw a good looking black woman. So he literally on this Twitter space some days back said, "Oh, I'm not going to apologize for blah blah blah," and I never said black women.
But that's not what it was led with.
He and then they pulled up a tweet of him saying, "I never saw a good looking black woman." Like this is crazy, and this is who we have in the culture. This is the type of guy who will become an executive down the line. And this is why the culture is the way it is right now. When we talk about even the whole Tyler the Creator situation, he has to be Irish. Let me look it up. Rory, you got to be an Irish. He's probably a Mick. No disrespect to the Irish, but we say Mick. What's his name? Rory Farrell. That's his name. Farrell, right?
I'm just curious what his ethnic background is.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. He does. It doesn't say.
It doesn't say.
Okay. Let me look this up. Let me look it up. And he's born in 1990. You see, this is funny. He's a music producer, event manager, and podcaster who started working at Sony as marketing manager in 2018. Damn. And he had over
He's new.
yeah, 20 he had over 20,000 followers on IG, at 140 on Twitter. He was an intern at Def Jam while Kanye was developing his album My Twisted Dark Fantasies. Okay, that's interesting. He became general manager at Duce Palooza, a national touring series that originally was called Henny Palooza. I remember that. Yeah, born in Jersey. Yeah, a last name Farrell. You're a Mick. You're Irish. And let me talk about something. Let me see, Rory. I denied 100% my culture. He's look at this guy. Look at this guy. Yeah. Now you're not connected to him, but he's connected to Joe Budden, and it makes sense. Def Jam, because Joe Budden was on Def Jam. He was an intern. So yeah. When we talk about, yeah, he's Scottish, Irish, yeah. When we talk about taking this culture back, this is what we got to start doing. We got to start calling out the ones who are not pretty much on our side. When I say our side, I'm talking about the side of the people.
That's a damn shame. He's a Taurus.
Yeah, he is. Jaguar is someone, if you really want to really break it down, she's someone who down the line, I think everyone's going to appreciate how she was for the people and how she stood up against the industry. And now, standing up against these trolls and these weirdos online and stuff like that. People that stand up and people that are for the people, going to be the voice of the people. That's real hip hop.
You want to know what's sad? Me standing up against the trolls and all of that, the only reason I'm forced to do that is because they were hired from the people from the industry who I was standing up against.
Of course. They get their little what do you call them? I don't know what to call them, but
their little digital racks. So they can hide.
They can hide their hands. And we're gonna get down into that because I'm working on a whole project about who's behind what when it comes to the attack on Jaguar. Because don't get it twisted. It ain't these weirdos that, like we just talked about, A2 titties. It ain't. It's when we talk about one name when it comes to these trolls. That name is a representation of a grip of people, and then there's money behind that. Follow the money. The old folks, they say follow the money, and that's what we're doing. We're following the money. But
this guy, though, this Rory guy, like when I've heard about him, and I hate when I hear. It's funny because what I've realized is that the rappers who weren't going to make it to superstar level and be deemed, it seems like there was some kind of blueprint plan to for them to become podcasters. You know what I mean? For the ones that weren't fit to go into radio, this space was created. So what I'm realizing is that all of these so-called Black rappers, and let's just be very clear. Joe Budden.
Oh.
Nobody would even remember him if it wasn't for Love and Hip Hop.
Oh.
His career would have totally just capsized and he would have been forgotten. It was Love and Hip Hop that gave him the validity to become a podcaster.
Let me actually pull this up. Yeah,
So
he went from being a subpar rapper to loving hip hop, and then yeah, he parlayed that into yeah.
into this podcast journey. But what I've realized about all of them, and let's just be clear, I think Sway was the prototype for what they got going on.
Ah,
I really think so.
ah,
And Sway is somewhere in between the world, but all of them, it's the same blueprint. And every last one of them bring along a white person.
yeah,
They
yeah,
all bring along
yeah.
a white person. And it's funny, I hate to say it this way. They have their token white person, and then they bring them in, and then they encourage the audience to feel comfortable with them. And then they start having inappropriate conversations that they shouldn't be having with a white person. And then they sit there and they try to find a way to normalize. And then you'll hear black people say, oh, yeah, he's like a black white guy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Oh, he's one of us. He's like us. He's like us. And then the second that happens,
Long. She was great though. Sim Philly had like 100 dark skinned women working. Like that was quick how she did.
Okay, he's a colorist too.
oh,
I'm looking up something because I didn't want to just say it. I wanted to actually show it. About Joe Budden being like a cuck. Didn't we just see this? Didn't we just see this article? I should have
you were just
screenshot it. I should have
But
screenshot it.
that,
Oh, here it is. Here it is. I'm about to do it right here.
no, but seriously though, it just kind of trips me out because Joe Budden, like his whole situation, even the way he came on to Love and Hip Hop, it was really weird and it was really strange and it was really disrespectful. It's like and then somehow he ended up creeping with Erica Mena's girlfriend
Mm-hmm.
when Erica Mena decided that she was going to start seeing women after it didn't work out with Bow Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all really divisive, but just that whole situation. And then the next thing you know, he's doing podcasts. But for the most part, he was a Peter Gunn's sidekick on
Oh,
the show.
yeah. Okay.
That whole him and Rich Dollars. And so I find it funny that Drake was a fan of his. Or that
Well,
Drake was,
Drake was sounding like him in the beginning, I think. Yeah.
which means, in my opinion, if Drake was kind of sounding like him, I wouldn't be surprised if he was ghostwriting for Drake.
There you go. Or yeah. Yeah.
No, he would have been ghostwriting for Drake. I could totally see that because Joe Budden did a lot of ghostwriting for a lot of people.
Here we are with Joe Buttons. This is something that just popped about he's telling her to pump it up, but for other dudes, Joe Buttons admits he's a voyeur who likes to watch and record his girl get on with other. Okay, again, whatever floats your boat. I'm not if you ain't got little kids and you ain't got old people involved, right? Or the unwilling, I'll say it like that too, in your proclivities, whatever floats your boat. But this is crazy.
No, it isn't.
They're trying to get ahead of something.
It's propaganda.
They're trying to get that part too.
It's propaganda because they're trying to normalize what Diddy was doing.
There you go.
They're trying to normalize it. They're trying to make it seem like, oh, the Mann Act, it wasn't that big a deal. Oh, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. Like they're all playing their part to try to make the weirdo world of what they've done with the rap community. You know what I hate? When I hear them talk about all this weird stuff and then they say the culture.
Ah,
Because that's not culture.
no, it's not.
It has nothing to do with
It's
rap
not.
music. It doesn't even have any, it definitely doesn't have anything to do with hip hop.
No.
Like when I hear people like Cardi B say stuff like, "Oh, well, you know the culture," or when I listen to people like Armand Wiggins talk about the culture, it's what y'all are on ain't culture. It's weird shit. It's not. It has nothing to do with music.
Noisy neighbors. What are you talking about? How do you guys know what? What are you talking about? No, yeah. This has nothing to do with any culture of
No.
ours.
No.
But yeah, even with this coming out about Joe Budden, I think Joe Budden was really cool. Oh, the Joe Budden act. Can you see what's on the screen, noisy neighbor? This is from World Star Hip Hop.
It's
You might want to
weird.
go to the site and actually see it. I'm citing that source. If you have an issue with it, then
You
you
wanna
might
know?
want to go over to
You wanna know what's funny? They actually sat up there and said, "What's your source?" While I was sitting there
no,
watching
because
the
he
movie.
probably's not looking at the screen. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He probably wasn't looking at
He
the
probably can't
screen.
read.
No, I'll give. He said he will do. Yeah, noisy neighbor. Go to World Star Hip Hop and peep it. And this is what they're saying. This is what he said. Like Joe Button, he has a podcast where he just talk, and it's like
I've
he.
listened to it. And you want to know the sad part about it? Now they're trying to integrate Mark Lamont Hill on there.
Yeah,
And honestly, that's disgusting and on so many different levels. It's perverted on so many different levels because Mark Lamont Hill is supposed to actually be some kind of college professor now. He's supposed to be some kind of
hmm
educator. He's supposed to be some kind of real commentator.
hmm
And you sitting over there? You
yeah.
sitting over there?
Well, he needed a place to land. I'm gonna tell you how these.
Like
I'm gonna tell you how these things
you
work.
sitting over there?
Just like KBLA, just like everybody is coming up with their conglomerate. Like there's a conglomerate of some sort right now when it comes to this entertainment industry. I told y'all this whole entertainment industry is pretty much done. Well, let me break it down. Just like AI, I was just telling Jag about how I'm doing research on AI and this AI bubble. Guarantee you it's gonna pop. And also, I'm gonna tie in why Trump is talking about a 50-year mortgage because he's trying to save the real estate industry because he's real estate. But the AI situation works like this. Y'all, how many of y'all have Chat GTP? Now, Chat GTP requires servers, LLMs, large language models. These large language models they require a lot of power. You have to cool them down. Like it's no joke. And it costs a lot of money just to have a server up. So back in the day, when the internet was first, exploded in the '90s, right? And everybody had a .com, pets.com, this.com. They were evaluating these companies just off of like, oh, they're projected to make X amount of dollars because everybody's gonna be buying stuff online. They were a little ahead of their time because everybody wasn't buying stuff online like that. So the pets.com, the valuation was, 500 million. I don't it wasn't that amount, but I'm just saying. And that's just because they were like, oh, okay, basically with the AI stuff right now, it's just numbers on a piece of paper when it comes to what these companies are worth. And then and here's what I mean. Chat GTP, most people don't pay for it. I pay for it. It's like 20 bucks a month or whatever. And they got one that's like $200 a month. I don't know what that do. I think that the damn Chat GTP come out and cuss people out for you. And it'll
That's probably the one that Kim Kardashian used to take the bar exam.
that's the one. I think it is the one. That's the one. But there's levels to it, but most people don't pay for it. It's free. They do the free one. So how much money does it cost to run Open AI? Because that's the company. Let me actually ask Open AI how much money does it cost to keep Open AI running per month? It's something crazy. It's like 700 million or something. Yeah, I'm sorry. $21 million a month. It's $700,000 a day. OpenAI spends $700,000 a day just to run Chat GTP. So somebody is saying it's 21 million a month, and you got someone who evaluated, oh, it's really $3 million a month. But most of their people do not pay the $20 a month to keep it running. So a lot of people they're running this stuff and they're losing money. This is how a lot of this AI stuff works. It's not really making money. It's losing money. And because the thing is what's the model? How do you make money off of this? How do you make money off of a chat GTP? Like the pets.com was easy. You can make money off of ads. You can sell, advertising, stuff like that. You get it? But with this AI stuff, how do you make money off of it? It's either subscription based or you're gonna sell ads. I don't know. Now let's get back to the music industry and the entertainment industry side of it. These entertainment industry people are tied in with the likes of a Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg now because they got to get funded, or they're tied in with drug companies. Let me just say it like that. So and this is that. Yeah, okay, you say Odell, correct. These are for data centers that will handle everyone's minority part up until they become a oh yeah, oh yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother convo. But yeah, and again, yeah, thanks Auntie Leah for putting the Fair Use Act for sure. And this is just my commentary. But overall, I'm under the impression that the entertainment industry and these tech companies have to come together. That's why everybody sold their rights to their music because they understand, oh, well, people are not gonna, there's no more artists like that no more. Jag, what, as of late, which artist can you say, oh, I gotta buy the album?
Are you serious?
Yeah, nobody. Nobody.
No,
There's not a lot of good art out there no more.
no.
So I'm gonna tell you what they may do is since they have the rights, since they have the rights to a lot of these people's catalogs, they're just gonna come up with all types of AI music that's Lil Wayne-esque or Kanye-esque. But I don't think Kanye sold out. I'm not sure. Case in point, Game of
Who
Thrones.
knows what Kanye's done? He done.
Yeah, that and then
For all we know.
I heard that rabbi he was sitting with is like, yeah, like he's racist. Yeah, that's a whole nother. Well, that's what I heard, y'all. Look, what was I saying, y'all? I was saying,
Somebody tell Young Thug.
well, he don't care. What I was saying was Game of Thrones, the owner or the writer of Game of Thrones. No, I'm sorry, not the owner or writer. What is he? He's the guy who created. He's the creator of Game of Thrones. He went to Chat GTP and said, "Yo, can you guys write me if I wanted to continue Game of Thrones, and how would it look, or what should it be like?" And Chat GTP spit out a synopsis and the whatever the next installment will be, blah blah blah, and then broke it down for him and like this will be the storyline, blah blah blah. He took all that and took it to court because essentially what happened is Chat GTP took his copyrighted material and fed it to its LLM, which is illegal. You're supposed to have permission. All these artists that have sold all their catalog, that's what's going to happen to their music in the future. They've already sold their soul essentially. And they probably got the recordings so they can LLM that. You know what I'm saying? They can come up with all kind of like hundreds of thousands of different types of albums because it's like, yeah, you sold out. So back to what I'm saying about this Joe Budden stuff and all that. I remember Joe Budden was going at Charlemagne for not owning, his stuff. Charlemagne basically has a black scented podcast network through iHeart, but he doesn't own it. iHeart owns all that. Joe Budden was on him like, dude, you don't own none of your stuff, which I understand. You definitely want ownership. That's why I said I see why they would be going at Joe Budden, because he's all about ownership, but I think he's still, he's still bought out. Like he's still sold out to a degree. You get what I'm saying?
Understand this, whatever he got, there's somebody that's making more. And whatever he owns, he don't own it alone.
You should see his Patreon monthly. His monthly that he gets on Patreon is crazy.
I hear he's getting like
he's getting money,
like $1.5 million a month.
Yeah, but ain't no telling if he's got to pay out whomever
I'm
X,
sure
Y, and
he
Z.
does. I don't think he gets to keep all his money.
But I think he did that though, and he showed what he gets on Patreon, so he could like tap somebody that got some larger pockets to try to finance him. You get what I'm saying? So if we had a situation where our Patreon was making that amount of money and we wanted to grow, that's why Mark Lamont Hill is there. Because look, Mark Lamont Hill really ain't. Where is he gonna go? Where's Mark Lamont? What platforms do Mark Lamont Hill have? Oh shit.
He's sitting over there looking like a simp.
He ain't
sitting over there looking like a simp.
I don't think Mark Lamont Hill is tapped in like that.
And he's not tapped in at all. He is. Listen to me. What was the other black guy that they had, light brown skin, who they had doing the commentary before they started using Mark Lamont? He was
Queen Flips.
An actor. No, he was an actor, light brown skin guy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Used to date him. No, if I said his name, you would know. He was. Oh my goodness, he kind of looked like Michael Ealy.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about.
His name? Oh, something. It was. Shoot, they swap him in and out so fast. But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
And he used to look like Michael Ealy. He used to date a singer too that I knew. But he was kind of doing what Mark was doing before Mark. Like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, okay. He was that guy. And then I started seeing they started edging Mark Lamont Hill in. And it's funny because I think the reason why they got him over there on Joe's plantation is because I guess they feel like he can legitimize them a little bit, because the truth is all of their commentary is bullshit. Like, let's just be honest. Joe Budden's podcast, they ain't over there spitting facts. They're over there saying, and they're talking, and they're having these really, really, really common conversations that aren't really based in any real research or anything like that. Like when they started talking about Brian McKnight versus Julie McKnight, that whole conversation. Yeah. Not only were they like 3 weeks behind the story, but they weren't even talking about anything real. And then they bring Mark Lamont in, and he said, "Oh, well, I mean, how long is a man supposed to be responsible for his family until the day he dies?" Yeah, pretty much. Until the day that it's his family. And it's just it was just bizarre just listening to him, and he's sitting there like he's got this look in his eye like, am I doing good, boss? Am I doing good? I really want to keep getting paid $20K a week. I really do, boss. Like, it's kind of pathetic. Yeah. And the thing is I don't think they realize it, but they're devaluing each other. Because he's really not classing it up. He's kind of just like he's slumming. He's kind of going along with their lowbrow commentary and trying to make it sound more intelligent. Yeah. And then dumbing himself down and laughing at all of their bad jokes and trying to fit in. And it's just not given. Mm. It's not given. It's not given at all. So I'm just curious to see how long this is going to last. But yeah, I don't see it as a good thing. Like, it's kind of icky. It's kind of icky. he would make more sense on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne.
Who? Mark Lamont Hill?
Yeah,
Yeah.
than he would with Joe. He would make more sense over there with them, which would have probably been a good idea before the leprechaun, what's his name? What's his name? Since we're talking about culture vultures,
Mhm.
let's and who they let in and how they let people in.
Yeah.
Like Charlemagne been over there letting a bunch of wild stuff slide when he invites certain white guests to come over there and
Mhm.
talk crazy on the culture, and he don't even say anything,
Mhm.
and he just lets it run wild. I mean, DJ Envy is damn near a white guy anyway, so he's just a a tinted version of Rory, but
Okay.
in my opinion, but what was it? You heard about it? Him and oh my goodness, what's that guy's name? You know who I'm talking about. Short, black Democrat, always cursing Trump. You know who Roland Martin.
Roland Martin. Oh, Roly Poly.
Yeah. So they've been going at it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Have you heard?
I heard. Uh-huh.
That's a very interesting conversation because Roland Martin literally called out Charlemagne for giving the black community false commentary regarding the healthcare situation and pretty much gaslighting black people into believing or being worried about something that they didn't need to be worried about. So Roland Martin calls him out, and he was absolutely right to do so. And now, so I guess they're going back and forth, and I'm just like, see, you needed a Mark Lamont because Mark Lamont probably understands what y'all were talking about a little bit better, and he could have probably guided y'all through that conversation just a little bit more intelligently. But then again, that's not what they wanted
Mm-hmm.
because that's what Charlemagne is there for, to gaslight the public.
Yeah.
And to make black people think that they're actually sitting up there. Like it's really weird. These shows and all of the stuff that's going on, and meanwhile they let these white people come in, totally disrespect us, and they say nothing. They say nothing. Now this guy, he deletes his Twitter, but okay, you delete your Twitter, you're sitting in a Twitter space, you're being facetious, you're being sarcastic, you're saying that you never said anything, but people keep showing you evidence of all of the racially inappropriate things that you said. You keep denying it, even though the evidence is right here in the face. In the face! You know what I mean? And all you have to do is just delete it and pretend like, but it's funny because that Rory guy, if I'm correct, he was the one who first started talking about the Radio Rico that was supposed to be coming.
Oh,
That first said
he was.
Yes, he was.
He was.
A lot of people forget.
He was talking about the Radio Rico.
He was talking about
DJ Envy. He said he saw his name in it.
Yep,
He said it a roundabout way. Yeah, he did. Wow. So it's like now the tables are turned. They're like, oh, okay, we're gonna get you out the paint. Oh, I forgot about the Radio Rico.
People are forgetting about that.
I forgot about that.
Rory was the first person to speak about
Yeah,
it.
he said he saw it. He said
He
it.
said he saw it, and now all of a sudden you're being held with your feet to the fire, and now you're deleting social media, large social media platforms. Because if I'm correct, he's got like millions of people on. Well, he doesn't he have at least 1 million?
Who?
Rory, didn't he have at least like 1 million on his Twitter?
No, he had 140,000 on Twitter, 200
Okay.
on IG.
Okay.
Yeah, back in September, he was the first one to speak about a radio payola.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Here it
And
is.
he actually, yep.
Hold on, this thing gonna play. This
Yeah,
up,
so you got to-
bitch. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. We can play this real quick.
Fair use, by the way.
Okay, come on. You can play. Buster. This thing is acting gay. Hold on.
I've been telling y'all that a RICO case was coming with radio.
Right.
We just skipped over that.
No, I mean you
That
didn't
caught
really
all the
you didn't really
legs in
speak
the
on
world
it.
now.
You didn't really you alluded to it. You kind of flirted with it, and then,
Mhm.
but we didn't really go into it.
I wanted to wait for the full report to actually,
Maybe I should play some music underneath it.
and it's gonna be a long day for some of you guys.
How long of a day?
I got a glance at some of that paperwork.
Mm.
There's some crazy fucking names in there.
Yeah, because
It
it's a
is.
5 minute.
Like I know a lot of y'all government names now. I felt like Whack 100. Like I was having a paperwork party. I was like, they was in on it too. And wait, that's his real name?
But what does this mean though? Like,
Let me play
I'm
some
in the
music
music.
underneath it. Hold on.
Pause.
I mean, I think it's
That's all good.
just
You ain't gotta pause.
with the radio companies. Obviously, iHeart, which we're on, being one of the biggest conglomerates of all time. I can speak most. I've definitely taken payola. So
Let
I
me
mean,
just
we may
run
end
it.
up being in this
Yeah,
case as well.
he's talking
But
about all the
our
people that are
opinions here
involved. Hold on.
They pay us for them, which is directly funneled through iHeart, so we can get a tax break. So we will probably be on that stand as well. Cuffed to DJ.
See, he said come to DJ Angie, but he cut it out.
No, get into your bag. Don't say never mind now. You there? Don't walk your back piece. Just bleep the name. Just go.
I'm joking. I'm not here to indict anyone. But yes, the RICO, from my understanding, is labels not only just doing payola, which for those people that don't know, payola is when companies or people will pay DJs or radio executives, or they can pay the janitor at the radio station, give them money so that someone can play a record. Now, payola's been around since the inception of radio. That's why it's illegal, because they had to monitor it. We've known that's been going on. The bigger part of this radio RICO shit is the money laundering portion of it, which is an extreme version of what payola would be. Funneling a bunch of money into radio so a record can continue to play, yes, payola. But then when the radio station is setting the price higher than anyone else to funnel it back to the label, now you are by definition laundering money.
Right.
You're putting money out, it's getting clean, no taxes there, and then it's coming back to you as a profit.
Yeah.
That is money laundering. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't just low like, a DJ. Some guy from East New York was hanging outside the Hot 97 office with a brown paper bag and was like, yo, my man's rap. Here's 20K. No, it's not whole Dane and your brother giving Flex champagne baskets or everyone at the radio station.
Right.
It's not labels paying
It's
for
not gifts.
DJ crews to go to the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. This is legitimately a RICO money laundering situation between the three major labels and the biggest radio conglomerate in the world. Mm-hmm. Plus MS, plus any other radio station across the country.
Right.
And guys, iHeart, I know you're watching. I think you're innocent.
Okay. Well, we can see.
I think iHeart's trying to buy NBC, something along those lines. iHeart, I'm here to you. I don't think you guys are good. I could never see a world where Universal, Warner, or Sony would ever be in bed with iHeart. I don't see it.
Okay, so I might as well keep this good music going. Yeah, he over here but he is breaking it down. In summary, he basically explained a radio industry RICO that has been brewing. He said it goes beyond normal payola where DJs are getting paid under the table. He said it goes in a full money laundering scheme involving major labels and radio conglomerates. And this is according to him, the money was funneled into the radio at inflated rates, cycled back through the labels and cleaned as profit, which legally qualifies as laundering. Now, who on this podcast has been talking about something like that to a degree when it comes to entertainment industry, laundering, etc., etc.? Okay, so you just put a whole twist on why they're going after him, and now I'm peeping, and I'm like, oh. It's like that meme from the guy from The Wire. You're like, oh, Very interesting.
Me and that pesky memory of mine.
Yeah. I totally forgot.
Because that was just a couple months ago.
It was 2 months ago. Yeah, and I forgot. But now, follow the money. We follow the money. She had me follow the money. Because I basically was like, okay, they're going after Rory all of a sudden. These tweets are old. This reminds me of the Kevin Hart gay stuff. Remember?
Yeah.
That stuff was old.
Real old.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not embarrassed of anything that I've said in the past because everything that I've said, I've meant. Ain't nobody ever seen me go back in my social media and delete nothing.
Mm-mm.
I don't delete.
You ain't backtrack nothing either. It's talking about you backtrack. I'm like, what's you backtrack?
It's just funny how people want to say something just to be saying something. But what I do find interesting is all of the posts that I had up there that people have taken down, that they reported and had taken down, because I guess they didn't want the public seeing stuff that I put up that was evidence of everything that I'm talking about now from 10 years ago. You know, it's just really interesting. But it's funny though, because wait a minute, now we're sitting here, you're talking about Rory. Rory's being handled up on for being a blatant racist, or at least a latent one.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's deleting his Twitter.
Ah.
Now he
Now
deletes
he deletes it.
his
Yeah.
Twitter. I
Ah.
don't think that this is about race.
This ain't about the race.
I don't think
Oh.
this is about race at all. The more we talk about it, I'm starting to think that it's about something else, especially considering him being one of the first people to come out and outwardly speak about this Radio Rico. And you want to know what's funny? Why didn't his friend Joe Budden talk about it? Joe Budden didn't talk about it at all. And then we're sitting here talking about how much money Joe Budden is making on his podcast. I don't know. Could old Joey could Joey be a laundromat?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That might
If you got a Patreon and your Patreon is bringing in like 1.5 million a month.
yeah, well, I mean, that is that whoa. Yeah, good one. Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Wait a minute.
We on to something.
Are we on to something? You know, people keep talking about how much money, and especially considering how upset the people that work under Joe's podcast were, because do you remember the conversations that they were having about Joe not properly paying people,
Right.
and not telling people how much money was coming in, and he was only paying them a little bit of money, and they weren't getting their fair share of the podcast, and then they was complaining about it, and then all of a sudden they just shut up about it, and then they don't talk about money no more. I find it real funny. I find it real funny. Ooh.
No. No, you got something. You are on it. All right. Well, I think I'm glad you bust that out. And,
I wonder how much evidence of what's been going on in the backdrop was loose rat all through Rory's Twitter.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Because you go back and you get these old tweets about him talking crazy about black women from umpteen whatever.
10 years ago.
Was all wrapped up in there. That would be a great way to get rid of stuff.
That's a good way to get rid of some evidence. Okay. All right.
Ooh.
We're gonna have to revisit that. I'm at my 2 hour limit, y'all. Hold on. Before I go though, I think I'm gonna get up out of here. Probably gonna piss some people off. Shout out to Jaguar. She was talking about Vivica Fox.
Somebody did that.
No, nobody did nothing. What are you talking about? That's actually Tyler Perry. Nobody did nothing. I'm not talking about Vivica. I'm just somebody like, yo. Classic said, yo, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I am done.
They are mean spirited in this world.
I'm done. I am done. I like this one, the one they did with Jay-Z and I ain't gonna play it because I ain't getting it straight. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Some people pay for each other. That ish is hilarious. Look at his neck.
I can't.
Look at Beyonce.
I won't.
Oh, that's great. Oh man. Okay, and oh shoot, dang, maybe I should let me go out on this one. I got a few more minutes left. Um, here's another one. And I'm not talking about your city like that. Wait, what's going on? How come I don't see that on the
You can
post?
talk about Philly. Philly is a problem.
Oh, this is actually Sexy Reds. So Sexy Red is uh she mad. Let me show y'all why she mad. This why this
Hey, Breeze.
they talk about this long time ago. Um, Sexy Red is mad because yeah.
Why? Because people are talking about.
So they're talking about the
Violent.
20 cities. No, the 20 cities with the most STDs. Philly is number one. I said, God dang. Memphis is number two. Jackson, Mississippi, number three. New Orleans is number four, followed by St. Louis, and then Baton Rouge, and then Montgomery, then San Francisco. Wow. Detroit, Washington, D.C., Little Rock, Arkansas, Norfolk, Virginia, Portland, Mobile, Alabama, Cleveland, Miami, Minneapolis, Laredo, Texas. I'm surprised Houston ain't on there. Then it's
Hold on, wait a minute. Houston and Dallas isn't on there.
Houston and Dallas in there, but
That's a fucking
Laredo,
lie.
Laredo,
That's a fucking lie.
and San Antonio is on there, and then number 20 is Milwaukee. But they use Sexy Red's photo for the yeah, they use Sexy Red's little photo
They
for
must have
the.
paid to stay off of that.
You think so?
Let's be clear. They just came through with the numbers on Houston and said Houston has the highest uptick in HIV
Yeah,
for Black cities
yeah,
in the United States.
yeah.
So unless they're not including HIV on this list,
No, they just maybe they're just talking about regular STDs. Regular STDs. He said, Laredo, all my in-laws live there. Well, you better hope they ain't out there in them streets.
let me tell you a real story. Back when I first got married, my first marriage, which was, of course, back in the early 2000s. So my ex used to go to this barber, and at the barber shop, there were a bunch of young men that worked there.
Mm-hmm.
And the one guy was sitting in there talking about, his SEX life or whatever the case may be, and how he was tired of it burning every time he went to the bathroom. And he was speaking about it so casually, like it wasn't a big deal. Talking about, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I be trying to get. He's like, man, and every time I go, it's just, it's all fire. It's fire. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at him like, and I'm looking at all of these other guys in there sitting around there, and I'm like, I said, how long have you been burning like this? Oh man, it's been like 6 months. And
Damn.
I'm like, do you know what you're doing to your system? Do you know what you're doing to your internal organs? And so I told him, you need to start flushing your system out. You need to start flushing your blood out. And more importantly, you need to go to the doctor. You need to get a penicillin shot. You need to do this. I started telling him about golden seal. I started telling him about black, a castor oil. I'm like, you need to flush your system out and you need to go and get that treated. I was like, that's not normal. And I'm like, why aren't you using condoms? Now, mind you, I'm in my 20s. I'm in my mid 20s, approaching my 30s. This guy's 19 years old. This is back in the early 2000s. I'm talking like 2001, 2002, 2003. This guy was up in there they were in there talking like that.
That's crazy.
It's over 20 years ago. And so the next time we came back to the shop, I went with my ex-husband so he could get his haircut. And we happened to be in the city. He wanted to get his haircut before we were going back to the house in Jersey. And so I asked him how he was feeling. He was like, man, I don't know what you gave me, but that stuff messed me up, man. Had me feeling all weird. I was all woozy and stuff. He's like, I stopped taking it. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going to burn. So this is the kind of stuff that dudes was doing back in Philly back then.
God.
So to hear you read this list and this list say that Philadelphia's at the top of the list,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Because whoever that dude is, he's probably got 20 some odd year old kids that's running around in them streets with his morals and his values. You know, it's just sad. Like, it's sad what's going on in the world. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I never made a mistake. I'm not saying that I was never reckless when I was younger. But this, in this day and age, you just be better off jumping off a building.
Yeah. Look.
What?
She just went live, so I'm gonna listen. And here it is. Today is the big day. We'll present in the Charlie Kirk investigation. Going to change everything. Let's see what she got to say. All right. Well, before I go, this is somebody did a story time talking about first train ran on me. Since we're speaking of Sexy Red.
I mean, these two niggas was standing. They was brothers. They was standing next to each other, high fiving each other, like, oh shit. I was just right there, like.
I'm done. That was story time. This somebody really going on. Oh my God, I'm done. Yeah, that's crazy. That ain't funny. I'm not laughing because I'm laughing at the fact that we're talking about that. That just popped up, and I said, "What?" You say what? What do you say? Yeah, I am. What?
Yeah, you are. You are laughing.
That was hilarious, but it's sad at the same time. This is sad. It's sad. It's like that pluribus. It's gonna be a Sexy Red version or a pluribus.
Do you want to know why I say it's not funny?
No, it's because they're throwing this out like it's normal. That's why.
Because she's sitting here on social media talking about this crap.
Like it's supposed to be
like she
for everybody.
Like she just talking about, like, look what look at that.
Wow.
I'm so busy talking to you.
Well, you didn't.
No, because
that ain't got nothing to do with me.
No, I'm saying that's how messed up this was, that it distracted me from Ben.
Tell them you need to go back.
I mean, these two niggas were standing. They was brothers. They was brothers. They were standing next to each other, high fiving each other, like, oh shit. I was just right there, like.
Okay, I'm done. All right. On that note, that's sad, y'all. Tell these girls, especially, don't be out here having SCXR early because your coochie lips gonna be black. Go ahead. What else you got to say? So a week ago, I commented on Jack post about Candace's agenda, but last night I watched Candace 3 interviews 3 days ago, and it says from Brittany to Charlie. What? Really? That's interesting. Well, baby girl Tay, that's where I'm headed. I need to go listen to what this thing has to say. Very interesting. They just put it on World Star. I just saw the tweet that they put. Anyway,
see what's wild is everybody's caught up into the sensational nature of all of this stuff. But ain't nobody asking where all of this It's all right. We're gonna see where it's going.
Yeah.
We're gonna see where it's going. I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself because honestly, you already know how I feel. There's something more going on behind the scenes with all of this. It's not what people think it is. But we gonna see where it's going. I'm gonna reserve my opinions for later.
And y'all, and yeah, she gonna reserve her opinions because and yeah, y'all remember that girl who went on back in the day. She got arrested. She said she was legally blind. I'm legally blind. That's my cousin, y'all. She got her parole request denied again, and they ain't gonna let her go until 2029.
See it all? You can see though, right? I'm legally blind. I can see barely. I ain't no robbing type of person. I wouldn't do nothing to no innocent man. I've been robbed. I've been pistol whipped. They got that on file. I'm innocent. I ain't do nothing. I don't know what's going on. All I know is my side of the story. I can't tell no other story. I'm innocent. And Mama, I love you. P.O.P. Hold it down. Right, these all good pimps for baby for life.
That's my cousin, y'all. Y'all free her. She don't need to be in jail. She innocent.
Just sad.
P.O.P. baby. Hold it down, Pimp Squad.
Guys, thank you for listening. Never Your Angel.
Yeah.
I listen to me. I keep trying to tell people, but don't nobody want to believe me. But we just gonna listen. We gonna listen.
Yeah, we about to listen, y'all. Y'all gonna get on over there. P.O.P. hold it down. Peace.